In just 3 short weeks, CU Boulder welcomes students back to the classroom. Well, some of it's online, but they're coming back. Meanwhile, COVID-19 data out of Boulder County is not looking so great. The county saw its highest monthly case count in July, registering 500 cases of the virus. In April, the health department recorded 482 cases, the record until now. Boulder blames that increase on a lack of social distancing, mask wearing, and hand washing. The county is also keeping a close eye on trends as the students move into housing on and off campus.
Anytime you have a new population coming into town, and obviously there'll be a bunch of new kids in town, that can affect things. That's probably not for the best. But we do know that CU has a bunch of plans in place. They're working on everything from testing to education, etc. So we think they've got a good plan, and we'll monitor what happens.
Nearly 2,000 people have tested positive for COVID-19 in Boulder County to date. 74 deaths have been directly blamed on the virus.